Hello darlings, and welcome to my book haul video. So in today's video, I will be showing you all the books that I have gotten this year from January all the way to the very beginning of April. So this is like several months all in one. This wasn't all done like in one day or in a couple weeks. This has been a span of a few months. Now granted, it's a lot of books, but hear me out. If you have seen any of my previous books, I very rarely will ever get books full price. Most of the time I will go to secondhand stores or get them when they're on big discounts at either Books A Million or Barnes & Noble. And here recently I have now been finding them at TJ Maxx. So keep an eye out at your TJ Maxx, Marshalls, some Home Goods, and see what you can find, because you can find some really good deals for books. A lot of them half price for ones that are like very popular books that are going around in like BookTube and Book Talk right now, very current popular books. So I was very excited when I found those. So if you saw any of my other previous book haul videos, then you'll know I typically go month by month on what books that I got each month. This time I'm going to do it a little bit different, and I'm going to go more kind of genre based to make it flow a little bit better and a little bit easier. And I will also be breaking them down by the price that I bought them. It'll kind of make it look not so bad with how many books I got, because I got a high percent of them under $10. So let me show you what I got. Okay, so for the first genre, I'm going to do more fantasy, and I'm so excited about this section. I have only read 3 out of this haul, so let me put these down and I'll show you what I got. So starting off, I have Lightlark and Nightbane. So this is the first and the second book in the Lightlark series. So I already have, can you see them? Where are they? Oh, they're on the end of that side. You can kind of see the third one. There's Sky Shade. So I already had the third, fourth, and kind of fifth, the novella, where it was the dual point of view of Grimm and Oro. I didn't have the first 2 yet because I found Sky Shade at Second and Charles. Crown's Hide I got on my birthday because it came out on my birthday, so my husband bought it for me. And then Grimm and Oro I got sometime when it was on like a really good discount. So I have these 2. I got both of these at Second and Charles. So Lightlark I have my iPad up to the side, so if I'm looking to the side, it's because I'm looking for the price. Lightlark I got for $9.95, pretty good for a hardback copy. And then Nightbane I got for $4.03. So you're gonna understand very quickly why there's so many books in this haul, and it's because I got them for stupid cheap. Nightbane is originally $20, okay, and I got it for $4.03. Yeah. And then I'm just going to go ahead and show you her new book. So this is one that I guess I could say I got for full price, but not really, because it was on sale for the Walmart. Like, I got this at Walmart. This is the Walmart exclusive. So she did several different exclusive covers and copies for different stores. This is the Walmart one. There's a Target, Barnes & Noble, and then I think just a standard. I think there's just 4 copies. Keep a lookout. If this is something you might be interested in, I highly suggest getting it now, because Alex said all of these copies are very limited quantity for the limited edition, and once they're gone, they're gone. So that was why I went ahead and got this. So originally it's $34, and then I got it for $25.92, and that was just Walmart's price. So I think they do some kind of percent off for their books, so pretty good. Technically kind of on sale. I'm very excited about this book and about this whole series coming up. One thing I am nervous about is that I heard it's kind of spicy, because it's her first adult fantasy romantasy book. That's kind of scary. So you know me, I'm just going to be skipping it and pretending it's not even in the book. So this is what the Walmart edition looks like. It's got a foiled embossed phoenix on the hardcover, and it's like a deep kind of midnight blue, which is really pretty. And then on the end paper art, there is a map, and for each edition there is a landmark from the story from the book that's colored. So mine is the Beast Tree. My sister got the Target one. It's one of these bottom houses for the Target one, and hers is really pretty as well. But I really liked the swords. I thought the sprayed edging swords were really cool. And then the coloring in the front are all slightly different, but mainly the sprayed edging, and then the foiled embossed front, and the colored location on the map is what's different for each of her copies. And then this is my first April book, first and only April book for now. So I'm in the middle of The Rose Bargain, and Dorm Queen comes out tomorrow when I'm filming this, so I will be going to go get that just so I have the copy, because I will be jumping into it right after I'm done reading it. Anyways, so as of right now, this is the only book I have bought in April. More so, like, I bought this earlier because my sister and I did the pre-order for Barnes & Noble, and so we got this cheaper. I think it was like 25% off for the pre-order, and I don't know if that included also her 10% off for her Barnes membership, but regardless, I have have this very beautiful sprayed edging. I'm so excited about it. It's so pretty. This is the second book to the Shield of Sparrows series. I will be reading this summer. So excited. I started it sometime last summer while I was also reading another book, so that's why I didn't finish it, but I was reading it on my Kindle. I got maybe 20 pages in and I was already sucked in. So I am so excited. I got my sister to read the first one and she flew through it and she's like, you're gonna love it. It's incredible. So I'm so excited for that one. Original price is $32.99 and then I got this for $23.27 with the discount for the pre-order. So pretty good price compared to $32.99. That's expensive. I don't want to pay that. So that's why we did the pre-order. And then we have this series that my sister told me I had to get. And I have Defy the Night and Destroy the Day. Both of these I got at Second and Charles, 2 different trips. So the first time I got Defy the Night and I got it for $6.25. The second time is when we recently just went a couple weeks ago for Second and Charles penny per page sale that they were doing. And if you're a member there, which is free to be a member at Second and Charles, then you got up to 5 books for the penny per page. My sister and I got up early. We got there early and we waited in line until it opened, and that was chaotic. There were so many people there, but it was so fun. For Defy the Night, I got it for $4.47. So I got this for part of the penny per page. There's 3 other books that I got during that shopping trip that I did not have included in the penny per page because I already had 5. And then I have my beautiful Once Upon a Broken Heart Barnes & Noble exclusive edition covers. They are so cute. I read these in the beginning of the year. I loved them. I ended last year with the Caraval series and it was so good. I loved it. So this was a box set that I got at Barnes & Noble, but I actually got a gift card from my sweet mother-in-law for Christmas for Barnes & Noble. And right when I looked at that gift card, I was like, I know exactly what I'm getting with this gift card because I have wanted this box set for so long, but because it's a box set, it never goes on sale. And you can get them individually. So the box set obviously is cheaper if you were to do the box set instead of buying them individually, because this would have been $60, so at least you get $10 off for the box set. So I used the gift card for that. So really I only spent like maybe $5, a little over $5 for the box set. So this is what the cover looks like for the first one, and they all have little embossed phrases and sayings from the books. And then this one's white. I think it's so pretty. If you are interested in this series and you don't have this series yet, for one, highly suggest it. Read Caraval series and then read Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I highly suggest getting the I highly suggest getting the Barnes & Noble editions instead of the standard because they're prettier. Really, they're just these pastels. The original are like more of a black background, and I just think these are more like fairy tale, whimsical. Like it fits the vibe of the story, if that makes sense. The others are really pretty, and I did not mind them at all. But once I found out about these colors, I was like, yep, I'm getting those. And then the last from more so of the fantasy genre that I'm going to show you is the Red Queen series, and I'm so excited about this series. So here they are. These I all got at Second and Charles during the Second and Charles penny per page book sale. I only got the first 3 for the penny per page book sale, and then the last one I actually bought, I say full price, like full price for their pricing, because it was $5.62. It was cheaper than if I was to do it penny per page, because I think this is like 600 or 800 pages. I would have been paying more if I did the penny per page for this. So I was like, let me just pay for full price for this one. And then Red Queen. I'm so excited about this one. So I have looked at this series for years. Honestly, when I was in high school, so well over 10 years ago, I looked at the series when it first came out. There's the receipt. That's okay. And I really wanted them, but I just never got around to buying them. And I've only heard great things about it. My sister had like the first 2 books maybe, and then she ended up getting the other ones, and she just finished the series. She loves it. So some point, probably next year, I'll end up reading this series. I don't think I'll get around to it this year, but they all have this in paper art, but it's all different colorways. So Red Queen I got for $6.62. Okay, so actually I got Red Queen and War Storm both for my second purchase after I did the 5 books for the penny per page, and I also got a really cool special edition book that I will have to show you later in the romance section. Both of these these I ended up doing just normal pricing. Again, they were super cheap because I also had $10 in credit, meaning like in store credit, because I sold books to them previously and then I used it towards this. So they were a little bit cheaper doing it that way. And then these two were part of the penny per page that I did. Look at this one. This one's a signed copy. I'm so excited for this one. So this is the second book. This is Glass Swords. My sister was a little jealous that this was a signed copy. So like I mentioned, same in paper art, it's just a different color. One thing that honestly drew me to these books is the gradient of the light blue to the deeper blue and then purple. So Glass Sword was $4.44. Yeah, when originally it's $20. Can't beat it. $4.44, that's insane. And then King's Cage I got for $5.12. Again, $20, you can't beat it. So I will show you what they look like if you have not seen them before. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Look at the pretty gradient. I love it. And then the last one is like a deep purple. I would have gotten it if it was there and if it was a good price. They didn't have it at all at Second and Charles, which is not a problem. I'll get it probably sometime next year, unless if I'm at Second and Charles or I'll stumble upon it somewhere and it's really cheap. They don't get it, but I'm not in any rush to get it right now because it's not one that I'm going to be reading anytime soon. So another fantasy series kind of that I got was the Twisted Tale series. So I got more of these books. I'm so excited. These have been on my book buy list for a very long time, but I really wanted to get them for like a better pricing. And so I've just kind of held off. I got Conceal Don't Feel and As Old as Time, both from Second and Charles during the same trip. So for Conceal Don't Feel, I got for $5.95. And it's originally $18. So stupid cheap. You need to see, if you don't have a Second and Charles around you, look to see if you have a secondhand bookstore around you. Because a lot of these are like perfect condition. There might be a little wear on the jackets, like the jacket sleeve for the hardcovers, but it's not anything crazy that I wouldn't be doing just reading the book in general. Highly suggest it. Then you are giving them a new little home and it's a lot cheaper. So really it's charity for the books so that they have a new home and they're not homeless anymore. So, you know, we'll put it that way. For As Old as Time, I got it for $9.95. And I'm so excited about this one. I have the hardcovers, and obviously I'm a big hardcover girl, so I really wanted that one. And then I have Straight On Till Morning, which I'm so excited about this one. My sweet mother-in-law actually got me this one time when we went to Books A Million. I don't know how much it was. Honestly, I couldn't find the receipt and I didn't ever put it down how much it cost. It's originally $17.99. But I do the Books A Million membership, so it was cheaper than that with the membership. I don't know how much it was, maybe around $15, maybe a little less. I don't remember. I'm so excited for these three books. I already have the Ariel one. I have Part of Your World, and then I also have What Once Was Mine. That's the Rapunzel one. I've read both of those and loves them. Oh my gosh, they were so good. If you have not looked into this series, they're not connected. It's just they're all standalone, but they could all have like a twist and tell in the original like Disney movie. If you've not heard about these and you are a big Disney fan, I'll give you a brief like summary of what the books are about. So the Ariel one, the Part of Your World, that one is if Ariel and Eric did not defeat Ursula. So it takes place up until the wedding. So the wedding happened for Vanessa and Eric. So Vanessa and Eric got married, and it's like everything that would have happened if they didn't defeat her. And then the Rapunzel one was what if Rapunzel's mom drank from the wrong flower, and it's the moondrop flower instead of the sundrop flower. So good. And so her powers are different, and I think that's all I'm going to tell you on that one. So if you're a Rapunzel fan, get it, it's so good. If you're an Ariel fan, get it, it's so good. So this one is the Frozen Anna and Elsa, and this is what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other. So they don't have like that sister bond that like kind of brought them back together. It's pretty interesting. And then Peter Pan one. So this is Wendy, and this is what if Wendy first traveled to Neverland with Captain Hook. Pretty excited. And then this is the Beauty and the Beast one. So this is what if Belle's mother cursed the beast. So obviously if you have ever watched the Beauty and the Beast movie, that it was like the enchantress, and it's what if she was the enchantress. Now my bestie Megan and I, now that she's almost done with college, we are going to do a buddy read for this book, and I'm so excited, and a few other books. So I'm very excited to read that one, especially because I'm going to be reading it with her because she is a massive fan of Belle, just like I am of Ariel. So excited. So excited. So for the last books in like more of the fantasy kind of genre are the Narnia books. I'm so excited for these. I have been wanting the Narnia books since I was a little girl. My sister got the big like all-in-one paperback Narnia book, which I was always so jealous of, and I really wanted to read them as a kid, but because it was so thick and intimidated the crap out of me, even though it had 7 books in it, it was such a mental block. I couldn't do it even though I really wanted to. And so now I have my own series. These are completely new covers that they have done, and another reason why I haven't gotten them is because I honestly didn't care for the 2 printings of the covers. I just wasn't a big fan of them. I didn't really like them, so that's what's held me off. And then these came out at the beginning of last year, so I will show you what they look like. Okay, so you can see all of them. So it starts with The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then it just keeps going. Aren't they so pretty? I love them. So this is a box set, and I got them on Amazon because they were on a massive sale, and they are originally marked as $140. I get it, but that's insane. Even though it's 7 books, they're small books, and I get that they're hardback and they're in new print, so I get it. But I got them on sale on Amazon for $67.77. That's half the price of what it was. So I'm so excited to read these this year for the first time ever. These were my favorite movies growing up, and we actually went and watched Prince Caspian with my best friend and her siblings at the movie theater for her sister's birthday. Such a fun experience and such a fun memory. So here's the first one, and I just wanted to show you. It's really cool because you have the jacket sleeve obviously printed, but it's also on the hardcover itself, which I really liked. I thought that was pretty cool. So because they're kid books, if a kid is reading these, chances are a jacket sleeve probably will not be taken care of as well. So they have the print on the hardcover itself, which I love. I thought that was very genius, very smart. And I have seen that you can also buy these without the jacket sleeve individually. I love them so much. I love them. I love Narnia so much. And if you don't know much about Narnia, C.S. Lewis obviously is the author, but he wrote it and correlated it with scripture and with Jesus and everything. So that's another reason why we love Narnia, because we love Jesus. So yes, that concludes our fantasy haul of all the fantasy books. So now we will go into mystery and then romance. Okay, so here is my mystery haul. A lot smaller than the fantasy. Fantasy kind of really just overtook the whole haul. It's say about 70% of the haul. We can't blame it because we love some fantasy. So this is the mystery that I have. So I have 3 Lucy Foley, and then I'll have Sean Gilbert's first book. If you watched my 2025 book wrap-up video, you will know that I read this book last year, and this was my favorite book that I read. It is my first and still only 6-star read out of 5-star, and you're probably like, it's out of 5-star, how can you do 6-star? Perfection. For the book people, you know, if you hit a 6-star, you can do no wrong. This is top tier, and I love her so much. The reason why it took me so long to get her is I actually borrowed my sister's copy, and then I tried ordering it on Amazon because I couldn't find it in store at Books A Million or Barnes & Noble. So the only place I could find it was Amazon, and then they sent it to me, and it was a Book of the Month copy. And I don't have Book of the Month subscription. If I did, I probably wouldn't think too much of it, but because I don't have that subscription, nor did I read that copy, mentally that's just kind of where I was. And so I sent it back, and then I found this one at Second & Charles, and I saw this a few months ago when we went, and it was like maybe $15, which it kind of isn't bad for a book, but for Second & Charles, that's very high price, and it was very yellowed. So like this definitely had wear and tear on, so you would say more so wear on the book, and so I left it. I was like, I'm not spending that much. Maybe it was $12. I don't know, but still, it was pretty high for Second & Charles, and also because there was like wear on all the corners and the pages were yellowed. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And then I went back during the penny per page, and I got it. I got it for $3.37 for the penny per page. So very excited about that one. I love her. Now I officially have her on my shelf. She is a trophy. I love her. If you have never read this book, Read it if you've never heard of this author. She is newer. She had her second book come out last year. I'm going to read that this year. It was I Did Warn Her. It's kind of like a Below Deck murder mystery. So if you've ever watched the show Below Deck, then you'll understand. My sisters love that show. I've watched it here and there, and she loves that book. Her third book comes out this year, and I think it's called The Five of Us. So excited. Love her. She's already a favorite author of mine. And now, Miss Lucy Foley. So I have The Paris Apartment, I have The Guest List, and The Hunting Party. I actually got all of these at Books A Million in a box set, but it was in the bargain section. Keep an eye out in the bargain section at your Books A Million because it can surprise you. A huge percent of the books I have gotten at Books A Million are from the bargain section. So this was a box set, and I can't remember how much it was altogether. So individually, it would have been $6.24. These are my mystery books. Pretty good. This one being $3.37, and then these individually being $6.24. I think so. Now you're understanding why I got so many books in this book haul, because very cheap. So I'm having a lot of fun with this. So for the last genre, we have our romance books. A high percent of these, majority of them, let me see. Well, four of these books I got at TJ Maxx. One I got at Target. Another I got at Second and Charles during the trip of the penny per page. But it was not included on the penny per page because it was not a used book. So I couldn't do it for that. But it was fine because you'll understand why in a second. So first book is Funny Story by Emily Henry. If you watched my 2025 book wrap-up video, you'll know that I read Beach Read by Emily Henry. That was the first Emily Henry book that I read last year. And it was good. And now mentally, I'm like, okay, it really was good. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And the only reason is because I was going for a beach read. Okay, I was really wanting a beachy read, like on the beach. It takes place at the beach. It feels very beachy. And that one, I think it might be like Michigan or something like that, but it's more like a lake beach instead of like a beach, like Florida, you know? And so it really just killed my vibe of what I was looking for. The book itself was good. I really liked the storyline. Now, I will say, I've heard great things about Emily Henry. I didn't know that there was spice in her books, so that kind of scares me. But I have heard great things about some of these books, and there is a cheat sheet. So if you're one that does not want to read spice at all, there are cheat sheets that you can look up and see where the spice is in the pages, and then you can, I guess, kind of tape or just like on a sticky note and put it in the book so that you're prepared to just skip those pages, because that's what I'll be doing for all my books that have spice. That's what I always do. So I have Funny Story. This is the one I'm most excited about, because if you haven't heard anybody talk about this book, if you have watched New Girl, one of my favorite shows, I love New Girl. People have related the male main character in Funny Story to Nick. And I love Nick. I love all of the characters in New Girl, but especially Nick, and I love Schmidt. But Nick, is my favorite. And so everybody's like, he reminds me of Nick. I was like, sold. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. And I got this for $8.99 at TJ Maxx. So again, keep an eye out. It was originally $20. So yep. Another Emily Henry book, Happy Place. This one I also found at TJ Maxx for $8.99, and it's originally $20. Keep an eye out at your TJ Maxx. This is one my sister has raved about. This is one of her favorite Emily Henry books, so I'll be probably reading this summer, maybe. So then we have, this is kind of a shocking one, Great Big Beautiful Life was at TJ Maxx. This one was a little bit higher price. It was $14.99, and it's originally $29. Gracious me. But it's hardcover. This and Beach Read, which I have the pretty exclusive edition Beach Read. Eventually I want to get People We Made on Vacation, the pretty one. I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm not gonna read it quite yet. I will during the summertime. Then I'll watch the movie. But I am pretty excited about this one. I've also only heard wonderful things about this storyline, so I'm pretty excited. And $14.99 for a hardcover book is a really good price in general, and it being at TJ Maxx, again, keep an eye out at your TJ Maxx. So those are my Emily Henry books. And then I got Just Friends by Haley Pham, and I am honestly excited about this one. I'll tell you in a second why I was a little hesitant, but I went ahead and got it. I got the Target edition because it's sprayed edging, and I think Target is the only one that has the sprayed edging, and so I just ran there. This was literally the last copy at the Target that I went to. Granted, they probably still have them and they may have restocked, but at the time this is the only one that they had on the floor, and they didn't have any up front either. And then there's this really cute end paper art on the inside. Another reason why I wanted to get it is not only because of the sprayed edging, but some of the first copies, you actually get a little letter from Haley. And these are only like the first prints that get it. And so I thought that was sweet. I was like, okay, I gotta get it. But I was hesitant on getting this book, not because of what all the reviews were going on about, but because I learned it was more of, people were laying it to more of like a literary fiction than it was a romance, because there's a lot of grief in this book, and it's gonna take like a certain time for me to read this because it deals with grief. And that's not to say it's not gonna be a wonderful book. But for the people that I trust and the booktubers, book talkers that I trust, they have raved about this, so I don't understand what the hate is about. I think people just need to get over themselves and not take life so seriously when it comes to this. But anyways, so this booktuber, book talker, I cannot remember, oh, I'm blanking on her name. Oh, that makes me so sad. I will put her handle on the screen. Is also a sweet Christian, and she went into this blind. She didn't want to hear anything of what other people were saying, and she read it and fell in love with it. And she said even though like either she didn't know or she was hesitant about the grief part, she said it was incredible. And her review, I will try and link it down below, sold me on the book. I was like, I'm getting it. I'm now pretty excited about it. I was excited about it for Haley in general, and so I really wanted to get it just to support her. She is one of the booktubers that I watch, and my sisters love watching Ryan's videos. I don't know, I'm pretty excited about it. I feel really excited and very thankful that I have this copy, the Target edition, and not only that, but also the one that has her little letter on it, because after these are all purchased, this letter will not be in the next wave of print. Then the last book that I got at TJ Maxx is Expiration Date. And I was with my sister at TJ Maxx whenever I found it. It was actually in the front. So whenever we were checking out, we were about to go check out, and it was right there. I was like, Expiration Date. I was like, that looks kind of cute. And my sister goes, get it. She goes, it's so good, get it. And I was like, are you sure? And I picked it up. I was like, let me see how much it is. And I was like, $5.99. She was like, get it. You're not gonna get a better deal. And I was like, you're right. So really, I was saving money by getting it. I was saving money by like all of this haul and getting it a lot cheaper. Very excited about that one now. And then I have Bridgerton, Miss Hyacinth's book. It is In His Kiss. I got this book intending to read it last month in March, and I didn't get around to it because once I finished the other books that I was reading and I was gonna get around to reading this, just didn't feel drawn to pick it up. So I'll get to it next year and during the springtime. And then my prized book of this whole year, and I know we're not even halfway through the year, but once you see it, you will know why it is my prized book. It is this beautiful limited edition cover and copy of Magnolia Parks. Are you kidding me? Is this not so beautiful? And just wait, it gets better. So this is one that was actually at 2nd and Charles, and if my sister watches this video, she's gonna get annoyed with me again. I sat down and had my cart. I was going through my books and trying to decide what I wanted to get, what I wanted to put back. So it was like right before we were gonna go check out, and she was supposed to go to the bathroom and then got distracted and found a few books. Thank you, Jesus, for letting her get distracted. That was definitely the Lord's work, was it? I don't know. But for me and for the sake of this, yes, it was. So she came back and she was like, hey, look, I found these books. And she was holding them like this, and I saw this, and my eyes immediately went big, and I yanked that out of the sack. She goes, no, I found it. I said, I don't care, I'm taking it. She was like, no, I found it. I said, I don't care, I'm taking it. And I'm not like that as a person, and I kind of surprised myself with it, but I was also the one that persuaded her into the whole book series. Now, have I read this book? No. I'll probably read it this year or next year. I'm not sure yet, but if you don't know about Magnolia Parks series, it's Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates, so it kind of like alternates between a Magnolia Parks book and Daisy Hates, and then it goes back to Magnolia. I think there's 2 Daisy Hates and then 3 Magnolia. So anyways, it is like London's version of Gossip Girl. That's all you gotta know. That's all you gotta know. That sold me in and of itself. This is the UK cover, okay? I did not care for the US cover. That was another thing that I'm so thankful. Let me grab the book. I'm so thankful that Jessica Hastings is now doing these covers and these exclusive editions for the US, and that we can get them, because the US covers are shoes, and it's okay, but since you see the UK covers, you're like, yep, we're getting the UK. So is this not so pretty? It's so cute compared to others. This is a limited edition. If it's something you're interested in, get it before it's gone. And then you have an alternate jacket sleeve. That is what this cover is, and you can kind of see it better with the coloring. So it kind of like resembles this one. Isn't it so cute? So this is a linen cloth bound, and it's foiled embossed. Look at this beauty. Isn't she gorgeous? She is beauty. She is grace. Now look at the end paper art. So it's all like little pieces from the book, and they have these for all of the books, and I squealed when I saw that she had it, and I was going to not leave the store until I was the one that bought it. And I actually hid it in my bag during the trip and the rest of the way to the checkout area. And then I walked away for a bit. I think I was looking at records. They also have records at Second and Charles. Then I came back and my sister just looked at me and I was like, what? And she goes like, you made me have a heart attack or something like that. And she goes, I couldn't find my Magnolia Parks book, and then I saw that you had a book in your bag. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Which I did put in my bag and hid it, hoping that she'd forget about it. She did. It worked out. Jesus was on our favor for that one. Now, did he have any part of that? Probably not, but if he did, thank you, Jesus. And so when she was checking out, I was like, Lord, please just let her forget about it. Just let it just casually drift away from her mind. After she checked out, and I was about to check out right after her, she was like, hey, I'm gonna go bring the books to the car. And I was like, okay. So I start putting my books in there, and then she saw me pull it out. She's like, wait, what the heck? And I was like, nope, you forgot about it. You forgot about it. She's still a little bitter about it to this day. And do I blame her? No, because I would be a little very bitter about it if that happened with me, which I would have put my foot down and I would have not let her take it from me. So was that nice of me? No, but if y'all understand our dynamic, you'll think it's funny, because that's so not something I would do. It's something she would do. And so I think that's why she's like, just take it. She's like, you want it, you deserved it, you fought hard and long for it, which I did. So this is the last one from my book haul. Is she not beautiful? I didn't tell you the price for It's in His Kiss. Let me tell you. $17.59. So not bad. It is higher price from what I typically will buy a book for. But this beautiful thing was at Second and Charles, and it was sold there. Like someone sold it, but it was like, it's pretty much brand new. So they didn't sell it as used. They sold it as new. And this beautiful thing, also this was the only one, they didn't have another copy. She was $16.66. Originally, I think it was $20 or like $19, but because I had the in-store credit from selling the books, this was the second purchase with the 3 books that I did during the penny per page that I got. I think it was War Storm and either Red Queen or Glass Sword that I got in this purchase, like the 3 of them, because I had the $10 credit, which is originally I think around $30 or more. So still, this is beautiful. This is the beautiful one that will just sit on the bookshelf and never be used or touched other than me. So, darlings, I hope you enjoyed today's video just as much as I did making it, and just as much as I did getting all of these beautiful books. And if you did, please make sure you click the like button down below. And if you would like to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and click the bell notification button so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Also, let me know in the comment section what you think was the best steal out of this whole book haul video. Which one was your favorite? Have you read any of them? Because my opinion, it would be this beauty. Bye, darlings. The day that I am filming this video, it is our sweet Lizzie girl's 8th birthday. And then we have our fluff ball of our Wendy darling, who looks like a teddy bear right now. I love the puppies.